We're at the filming of the movie My Suicide, and our guest is Mariel Hemingway, who plays the mother of Sierra. Mariel, tell us about your role in this movie, please.
Well, I play Sierra's mother, and I would have to say that I'm a little bit anal, shall we say. When you see me initially, I bring Gabe into the house, Archie, the character Archie, into the house, and I tell him, I'm so sorry that my house is a mess and it's immaculate. There's not a thing out of place. So I think I live in a surreal world of sort of obsessive-compulsive denial of anything going wrong on the planet, because she's had a lot of tragedy in her life, so she pretends that everything's okay so she doesn't have to deal with it. She's not a great communicator, my character, which made her a lot of fun to play.
Well, besides the way that she communicates, the writing in this story seems to be quite powerful. Is that what brought you to this movie?
Well, I mean, as your audience may or may not know, I have a tremendously deep connection to suicide in my family. My grandfather committed suicide, my sister committed suicide, my grandfather's father committed suicide, my grandmother's father committed suicide. There's a tremendous amount of suicide, depression, suicidal tendencies, psychosis in my family. So, or psychotic behavior, excuse me. And so obviously I have a connection to the American Federation for the Prevention of Suicide. I had initially narrated their little documentary on prevention of suicide for teens in schools and things. And then they approached me about this story. And what I love about it is that it is written from the voice of somebody their age. It doesn't have this false sort of sense of an adult coming up with an idea of what they think, a teenager would be feeling or thinking or saying in the midst of depressed and suicidal thoughts. So it has a very true voice, and yet there's a tremendous amount of humor, which I think draws an audience in, and then it allows it not to be like torture the whole time. And then you realize that, underneath it's extremely powerful. The message is hugely powerful, and the actors that they've gathered for this film are so amazing. I mean, Gabriel Sunday is just going to be a star. I mean, he's hugely talented. Brooks, fabulous. Everybody, Nora Dunn, David Carradine, all these people are just incredible.
And speaking of that, there's this interest and passion for doing this independent movie that means so much. We've seen that here on the set today, and we can hear that with you as well. Are there other projects like this that you are also as equally committed to? Well,
I'm committed to this for my own personal reasons, and I have other projects in my life that I'm committed to. I have a project of my grandfather's book, A Movable Feast, which I'm committed to. My husband makes documentary films on Buddhism and the Dalai Lama and things like that, which are very, I'm very passionate about as well. I have a television show that I'm developing, but that's a comedy, so it's sort of a different, and that I'm very passionate about because it's loosely based on my interesting life. No, not on an interesting life of the past, sort of interesting as it is right now. But, I always believe that whatever you're doing, you should do it with passion anyway, no matter what it is. So I'm passionate about this project. My Suicide, I think, it has a big message, and I think it's going to go far.
Tell us about the experience working here in Ventura County. We know you live close to the area in a sense. Tell us, how has this movie been a joy for you working so close to home?
I got to tell you, when you've got 5 minutes to drive to work, it's like amazing. Usually you're driving, an hour to hour and a half, and that's kind of normal. So it was easy. It felt really nice. It was nice to be on home turf. And the odd thing is, even though we're so close to Los Angeles, it has a small town feel about it.
Now, as far as this particular movie, when they first approached you, did you have any second thoughts because of the subject matter, or feeling it was a little dangerous to explore this, or were you...
Oh, gosh, no. I believe that the more attention you bring to suicide, the better it is, and especially that for people to sort of take the boundaries and the taboo out of speaking about suicide. I think people are very ashamed. I mean, my character, his first son commits suicide, and she pretends that he gets in a car accident because she can't handle it. And I think there are many people who believe that there's a tremendous amount that it's very bad, and there's a tremendous amount of shame involved in dealing with suicide.
Now, you brought up the whole point of suicide, but also we learned from David Miller, the writer of the movie, that somewhat of this was based on a tragic accident here in Ventura County of 3 youth who lost their lives in a car accident, in a sense. So do you feel that that also makes an impact with people who are experimenting with dangerous behaviors in their youth?
Well, there's that thing about being youthful that you think you're infallible. Nothing can happen to me. You know, I'm young, I'm this, I'm that, I can drive fast. I mean, one of my own children got a ticket going extremely fast. And the whole thing was, we're not mad at you, we're frightened for you. You know, the thing, and you know, they've driven all of 6 months to a year, you know, or something like that, and they have this sense that they have experience, and life is, you know, what's great about kids is they're present. They live in the present moment. What's not great is that they don't think that tomorrow will happen. You know, they're not thinking about tomorrow. They're not thinking about the future. So in some ways, there's got to be a balance to their sort of sense of recklessness and you know. And then I think, and you know, getting back to suicide, I think there's this idea that suicide is just like temporary. It's not temporary. It's a very final solution to a temporary problem.
Very well said. Now, as far as this movie, you're playing the mother of a daughter who's experimenting or somewhat tormented, but you're a mother in real life. I mean, how did the two roles come together for you?
Well, I think when I see my daughter lying on the floor of her bedroom, you know, having attempted suicide, whether or not it's successful, you'll find out in the film.
Right, that is the daughter in the movie.
Yes, the daughter in the movie. It's powerful and it's frightening for me as a mother. I mean, you know, to put myself in that position, it was not difficult to be upset, you know, to see this young face, this young body, and to imagine my own daughter lying there. It was nearly too much to handle at the moment.
Now, as far as this particular movie, we know there's about a year till it goes through all the production and the types of work. Will you be involved in the marketing of the movie?
I will definitely help promote this film. I believe in it. It's, you know, I'm passionate about it. There's no question about, you know, wanting to get it out there and get this message. I think it's not just a small little independent movie that's going to lose, you know, get lost in the fray of things. I think that it has a strong message, and I think that what it has to say is important and needs to be heard.
Well, I think that's a very good place for us to wrap up this interview. Thank you very much for your time.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Impact.